Welcome to episode 5 of Woman Unraveled. I can't actually believe we're on episode 5 already. That means I've been doing this for a month. Anyway, I'm Michelle Haslam. I am the original Woman Unraveled, although I suspect there are millions more over 40 women feeling exactly the same way. So this is for you guys. As always, please subscribe, follow, like, share, all those things. It all helps to grow the podcast. Like I say, I'm brand new to this. I'm got a fairly big audience on other platforms, but this is new to me. I'm learning a whole new skill set. So, right, today's episode, we're going to talk about making money as over 40 women, because I think there's this propensity, is that a word? Have I just made that up? To think that we're too old, or it's for other people. I've built up most of my audience on TikTok, and most people think that's for real youngsters who just want to dance. But actually, TikTok is a brilliant place for over 40s, women or men, to be honest, because there's that trust, there's that authenticity, there's something about someone who's older that really grabs the eye on that platform. So just a little bit about me and what I do. So my job as such is to make money online. So that's what I do. So I've done that in several different ways. I've done that by being a coach. So I've built up an audience on TikTok and made sales, lots and lots of sales, tens of thousands of pounds of sales on TikTok. And I have shown other people how to do the same thing. I've been a TikTok shop affiliate, still am, on and off. I go through stages with that one. And I've run a membership for business owners who want to learn TikTok, done lots and lots of different things, all with varying degrees of success. I've built up, it's been over 4 years, something like 4.5 years now, I've built up this skill set on TikTok. I used to be a compliance officer. I used to work for my dad, and he ran a financial advisors company, and I was a compliance officer. I was also a senior manager within that role. So you can see that I have done quite a major pivot at some point in my life. And at one point I was doing both things, and then the business closed down. So I thought, well, I'm going to go all in with the online business. And I did, and I regret nothing. It is insane. It is hard work. But the flexibility it offers me, because I don't have to work a 9 to 5, I don't have a boss. I am my own boss. I despise my boss because she likes me to do things that sometimes I don't want to do. But at the same time, she has the flexibility, or I have the flexibility, to go to my kids' PE days, sports days. I could go to their shows. I can drop them off when needed. I can pick them up when needed. It is a brilliant lifestyle, and it's worth the pain to keep it. So I am a not post-divorce. I'm going through, just coming to the end of the divorce, hopefully. I'm a single mum, and financial independence is something I am so passionate about for other women. It is something that I think every woman should have, is financial independence from anyone else in the world, from their parents, from spouses, from anyone else who they might be financially reliant on. Every woman deserves a choice. Every woman deserves to know that despite everything else, if nothing else, they have money of their own in a separate bank account, only they can access. That is what every woman needs. I will go into no more detail in that right now, but I'm passionate about it. So this is going to help you get started if you're wondering how. Okay. So, yes, we're juggling kids, we've got energy dips, we've got perimenopausal symptoms, we have tech overwhelm. We feel like it's too late for us. Okay, fine. Yeah, we are struggling. I get it. 100%. Here's what you can do. Okay, so first of all, we need to look at the mindset. So over 40 does not mean you can't do it. I have had clients in the past who are in their 60s and 70s who have been absolutely huge on TikTok because they stand out and they're interesting and they've got stories to tell that even I at 46 don't have to tell. It's actually an advantage to be older and be on social media because you stand out. There's so many youngsters, you will be the one that stands out. So the older you are, the less of an excuse you have. I'm sorry about that, but it's true. You see, the over 40s have more experience, more resilience. They have less, they're less likely to accept bullshit from other people. It's a great time of life to be sharing your life and experience. And it could be your education. It could be things that you know about that other people don't know about. Share it. It is time for you to do so. Be seen. I'm passionate about that one too. Be seen. But like I said, I started off as a compliance officer and doing essentially admin work, some senior management stuff, some recruitment, that kind of thing in a financial advisor's office. So I was doing that. And then alongside that, I started doing TikTok and started an affiliate marketing business. So affiliate marketing, if you don't know, you're essentially selling other people's products. You sell, they deliver on that product. So it could be a physical product or it could be a course or some sort of digital product. You then get a cut of that sale. You get a commission. But you're not the one delivering the product. You're not the one who they go, if someone isn't happy with it, that they come back to. They go to them. So it's just the most amazing business model because you have very little responsibility with it. Just, I would say your main responsibility is to be a moral person. Would you actually want to be buying this yourself? And if you wouldn't, don't sell it to someone else. So I was an affiliate marketer. I've also run courses. I've also run coaching programs. I've run group programs. I've run one-to-ones. I've done all of it. And I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I'm not really making any money at this exact moment because everything that I have tried up to now, I feel a bit done with. So when I was a TikTok shop affiliate, I made the most money that I've ever made out of all the different types of business I've had. But I burnt myself out with that. And I'm going back to it right now because I need to earn money again. But I had to stop for a few months because I physically couldn't pick up a product and my phone and do the work, make a video. And I'm not sure where that came from. And this is something that I tend to do, and I really recommend you don't follow me with this, is I will go all out into a project and then I will burn out and stop. And so it's quite interesting. I'm doing this podcast right now and I have to not do that. So I'm committing to one episode a week. However, I might go down the series route where I do 10, 20 videos or 10, 20 podcasts in a row, but then take a little break. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go, to be honest. I will work it out as I get there. I certainly won't be doing any recording over, say, Christmas, for example. I will be taking a break at that time. Definitely don't launch a podcast in the middle of the summer holidays. That was stupid. That was very stupid. But it's done now. The kids are back at school. So I made from TikTok Shop affiliate tens of thousands of pounds. In one particular month, I made £12,000. It is the most insane. When you get your head around what you have to do on it and you get those viral videos and those viral products, when you know what you're doing, it is a goldmine. But there is a part of me that thinks it might be a little oversubscribed now. There might be too many people doing it. My plan is to go back to it, start again, but do it in a way where I'm not going to burn out. I'm not quite sure what that way is just yet, but it's a great way to make money and definitely something to consider. However, you might have other skills that you can leverage and make a ton of money yourself. So here's how to do it. And I do have a guide. I've linked it in the show notes. I normally charge £7 for this, but this I'm giving for free on the podcast. And that's because I feel like we need access to it. We need access to this information. So the guide is an over 40s beginner's guide to how to make money online. That's something that's available in the links below. So here's what you can do as a bit of a summary. You can use your existing expertise. You're always a couple of steps ahead of someone else at something. So use that experience. It could be in your current career. It could be a hobby that you can do. It could be that you've just looked into something and you've got a bit of knowledge and you'd like to show other people how to do this thing. You've got your career skills. So what is it you do currently? Could you go into freelancing, mentoring, consulting? Could you go to big businesses with big budgets and sell your services there? God, that sounds dodge. I'm not talking prostitution here. Not talking that. Life experiences. What have you done that other people might like to learn to do? Have you climbed a mountain that no one else has climbed? Have you done John O'Groats to Land's End? What if other people want to do that? They want to know where to stay, how to hydrate, how to get your food. They want to know how to do things like that. What have you done that other people might like to do? And can you show your expertise? You can do things like create digital products that you could sell over and over and over again. You could use your experiences and become a storyteller. And you can make money from TikTok just by telling your stories, because storytelling on TikTok is the thing that goes wild and viral. And if you get 10,000 followers and decent amounts of views, you can make a living off of TikTok. So I'm going to give you some ideas for flexible, and I mean flexible. This is working around our current lives as busy mums, colleagues, whatever it is we're doing. Now, you can do these things around that. Like I say, take a look at the guide. It's got everything you need in it to get started, including things like ChatGPT prompts. So don't panic if you're thinking, I don't know where to start. Just have a conversation with ChatGPT. I'm telling you, that thing is powerful. So things you can do: affiliate marketing, like I say, sell other people's products or courses and get a slice of that commission. You do need a bit of an audience for this. You do need to sell. I mean, it depends. If you go super high ticket, which is how I started, funnily enough, I've gone more lower ticket nowadays. But high ticket stuff, you only need to sell a couple and you're raking it in. So you've got TikTok Shop, like I say, as an affiliate. You've got TikTok Shop to sell products as well, if you're into that, if you've got some products to sell. Digital courses, create your own. Create a community, and you can sell those digital products over and over again. Freelance or remote work, you can utilize your skills to do that. So it could be something like copywriting, become a VA, a social media manager if you're good at social media. You can do a product-based business. So if you can source products from somewhere, I don't know, South Korea, I don't know where you get these things because I haven't ever done it myself. Sell them on Etsy, sell them on Shopify, sell them on TikTok Shop. And there are some people really doing very well with those. Obviously, there's plenty of pitfalls with that sort of thing. It's not something I've gone down myself, but it is an option. You can do your service-based things. You could create your own events based on what you know. You can be a consultant. You can be a coach. Be careful about only swapping time for money, because long run, you'll hit a ceiling. You can't go any further. So I like the idea, and I'm wary of the phrase passive income. Passive income is not something that I think is a real thing until you've put in an absolute shed load of work. So yes, you can sell digital products en masse by having videos on, say, YouTube that are shown over and over again. But you've got to put in an absolute ton of work to get to the point that those videos are shown over and over again. And you have to put in a lot of consistent work to get there. It's not impossible. Passive income is a dangerous phrase when you think, I'm just going to sit back and earn a ton of money by doing no work. But always remember, you only need to be a couple of steps ahead of the next person to be able to teach. And this is something, a little bit of imposter syndrome comes in here. So I've got over 117,000 people who follow me on TikTok. I've got nearly 10,000 people who follow me on Facebook. And the other platforms I am much less active on. There are times when I don't believe I'm enough of an expert on any of those things to teach other people. However, when I have taught other people, they've had massive success and they've followed through on the actions. They've had massive success. So I am good at this stuff. But I still struggle with that imposter syndrome of why me? Why would anyone listen to me? Get over it. I need to get over it. You need to get over it as well, because actually we're all an expert in something. We're all further ahead than other people in something. Every single one of us. So what is it you're quite good at? I mean, you can get even better. It doesn't mean you can't get better. Stay a couple of steps ahead of other people. I want to talk a little bit about digital products because it's something I am just starting to get into. I've tried a couple of times, the faceless TikToks, faceless YouTubes, still getting my head around how those work. For me, what works best at the moment is showing my face, being my authentic self, being quite vulnerable. Those are the things that get people to follow me, that get people to trust me, and to know that when I tell them something, it is the truth. And I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to lie at all. So that's something that works very, very well. Some people do not want to show their faces. And I get that. It could be for a work reason or a lack of self-confidence reason. What I would say to those people is, I'm not the person to follow if you want to learn how to do faceless stuff. I'm still trying to learn it, so who knows where that might go in the future. But right now, I've not worked that one out. You could create a very short course and sell it for, say, £27 in whatever it is you know, build your audience, show your expertise, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, go on Instagram, whatever your platform of choice is. I'd stick to just one to start with, build up an audience on just that one. Doesn't mean you can't repurpose onto others, but it's good to create videos for a specific platform, because what works on TikTok doesn't work on Instagram. Believe me, I have tried both. So you could do some low ticket digital products. You could do freebies to try and build an email list. I always recommend building an email list because, and I'm saying this from a place of, I don't have one right now. I've got an old one, which I don't do anything with, but I don't have one right now. And I think I need to connect one up to this podcast, so women over 40s, because I really want to build a community around that. So you could set up a freebie. It's called a lead magnet. So something that makes people want to put in their email address, and you've got their email address from then on. That they get a freebie out of it, you get their email address. So that works really well. But you can do low priced products. So £7. It's got to be a 7 at the end, right? Has it got to be a 7 at the end? I don't know. I've heard this. So £7, £27, £47, and gradually create. And you could do it so gradual, so baby step, one a month. Then talk about it on social media. That's almost the hardest bit, I think, personally. But it is a really great entry point to do. Again, I don't know about faceless. Some people do really, really well with that. For me, get your face on camera, you are more likely to make sales much, much quicker. Once you've created a digital product, you can sell it forever. It's there, it's done. You've created it, you've done the work. And all you have to do is put in your idea into ChatGPT. It will come up with some words. You copy and paste it into Canva. Make sure you put your own spin on those words, because it comes up with all kinds of things that you wouldn't want to say, or it's not in your words. But change it around. But it's an amazing bit of inspiration for you. Almost don't have to do any work with it. So how do you build an audience? Okay. And this is something, I'm sorry to say, for the majority of people, unless you are some sort of expert marketer and you've done it in some form in the past, it will be slow. It will be slow. But you start by talking about your story, how you managed to achieve the thing that other people will want to achieve. Talk about your journey from 0 to whatever it is you've achieved. Talk about what experience you've got. It's not just all about education. It's about becoming a real life person that people think, yes, I can associate myself with this person. This is someone that I relate to. That's actually so much more important than the education part. 3 steps to achieving blah, blah, blah is great, but it's not the most important thing. It's about building that trust with your audience, and talk about your failures. This is something I've done plenty of times. Talk about your failures as well as your success story, because no success story is linear, is it? It's all over the place like a bloody roller coaster. But yeah, that personal brand works so much better, especially for that 40 plus audience. 40 plus people on TikTok they're building massive audiences and selling so much on TikTok Shop, by the way. But again, it can take months of work before you get to the stage of doing really well on there. And I'm not going to lie to you, that can be demoralizing and it can make you want to give up. So try not to do that. So we want to build a community, I think, around the things that you are wanting to sell. You can do this by networking and collaborating with other people. You can go on other people's. If you run a podcast, you can go on other people's podcasts. Even if you don't, you can be a guest on other people's podcasts. There are plenty of Facebook groups where you can find people who are looking for guests. Do you know what? I haven't had any guests on here yet, and people keep offering to be guests, but they're all experts in something. And I genuinely want my guests to be real life. I mean, not that they're not real life people, real life women who have gone through something big and, a 40 plus related thing and come out the other side and how they've done that, but not someone who wants to sell you something. I don't know. What do you think? I would love to hear your feedback on something like this, because I'd love to know what direction to take the show in. But yeah, be a guest on other people's podcasts, collaborate, do joint ventures with people, create events with people, use other people's audiences, do TikTok lives with other people who are have similar audiences to you. And also, who's ahead of you? Can you get help from other people who are ahead of you? And try and see it, when someone's ahead of you and you get a bit jealous and you're like, oh, I wish I was doing what they're doing. Use it as an opportunity to be inspired. How can I get to that stage? What have they done that I haven't done to get to that stage? And talk to them if they're willing to. Some people would be and some people wouldn't be. One way of thinking about it is, what can you offer them in return for their time and expertise? Is there something you can give them in exchange for their expertise? So just a couple of practical starting points. Start with ChatGPT. Chuck in a few ideas. Tell it everything you have some form of expertise in and let it come up with some ideas. Have a good old brainstorm. If you're going to create an audience, pick one platform to start with. Like I say, you can repurpose onto other platforms. Pick one and get to know how that platform works before you move on to others. And I say, really get to know it before you do that. And create one simple offer to start with. So it could be one PDF, one mini course, one little thing that you can build on. And remember that simple daily actions compound over time. So just a caveat, there is no overnight success with this. It's about taking your time, building your audience. If you're saying the things that resonate with people, it shouldn't take too long to build. But it is about long-term freedom and building a brand. That works so well. And I am proof of that. And yes, I'm not earning millions of pounds at this exact moment. And no, the podcast doesn't earn me any money at this moment. But I'm building. I'm going back to what does earn me money. I mean, the joy of having had so much success with TikTok Shop affiliate in the past is that I had plenty of savings to live off of for a few months while I built this podcast and a couple of other business ideas that I've been looking at. But now it's time. I have to start earning decent money again. So I've gone from 12 grand a month to next to nothing. And that is wild. And I can't quite believe it myself. I would love to know what you guys are doing. Is anyone starting a side hustle? Has anyone created something that's been really successful and they'd like to share a story with? I'm happy to share it anonymously if you would like. on future episodes. What can people do? What's your success story or failure story? I mean, I've got 100 failure stories. We have to fail all the time in order to eventually succeed. That's just how it works. If anyone's got any questions about how to do any of the things that I'm doing or have done, I've done very well with group coaching. That one went very well. I've done very well with the TikTok shop affiliate stuff. But I'm talking over £10,000 months from these things. So it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's just that I'm not always willing to do the work required in order to do it. Don't think that makes me lazy. I think it makes me picky, fussy, only willing to do certain things with my time. Possibly. Right, guys, that's it for episode 5. I am so excited. We're into the second month of this. And it's September, so it feels like a new year. The kids are finally back at school. I am feeling kind of rejuvenated from a little holiday that we had last week, and I'm really happy to be back to it. So have an amazing week, and I will see you next week.